So I know you've been doing this longer, and this I appreciate you being here. I gotta ask the question though, like for the average size small business, if they were approved for something like this, what do those actual numbers look like of what they could potentially get back?
Yeah,
I'm
I can't. Again, I think
Because
what's
if you have to
really,
account for it in your next taxes, I'm assuming it's a pretty significant amount.
so you put me on the spot here right
I
away.
did, yeah.
First thing everyone is thinking when they're hearing this is exactly how much money I'm going to get. And
Yeah.
that's what's unique about this process. I want everyone to understand that like the whole point of the ERC credit itself revolves around what are the actual orders, what are the qualifications. That's pretty straightforward. And we've got the catalog to understand that. It really comes to that situational interview where we do it as a questionnaire to understand how it affects your business. Having done specialized tax accounting for over 5 to 7 years here, we've developed a pattern of overqualification, underestimating with our clients. So
Okay.
what I'll do is I'll speak to our averages that we know and the
Yeah.
averages of what we see across the industry. In general, the maximum that any employer can receive per employee per W-2 is 28,000 or $26,000, excuse me. What we see in general is that most businesses, if they applied for something like the PPP loans, will receive on average between 4 to 6 times their original PPP one amount is a good benchmark for what you might get.
Okay.
The others that we see as far as industry averages is far and away on average, most businesses qualify between $18,000 to $22,000 per employee.
Okay.
We see far and away the most common credit size is about $250,000 across the entire industry per business. Uh,
Okay.
and that if you break that out by the numbers that I just shared you, that's an average of about 15 to 20 employee business.
Yeah.
So $250,000 is what we see as a common
Okay.
and average amount.
Well, that totally makes sense. I mean, if you're looking for an incentive to apply, there it is. That totally makes sense. And it makes sense why you guys are doing what you're doing. I'm sure with the complexities of the tax code of what you're talking about too. I mean, I would assume that the government's not super eager to get rid of it, or is that kind of the situation that they are like, hey, we have this money set aside for this program, we need to get rid of it.
Well, it's important to remember when it comes to credits and things like this, it's a program that was set up by Congress for the small to mid-sized business owners, for the taxpayers themselves. The IRS itself is just a processor of the credit. And so their job is to just basically check the numbers and make sure that it makes sense. And then again, the third party in that is the treasury in itself of actually paying it out. So they're all beholden to their constituents. They just want to make sure that the information being provided is accurate and complete, and that's what their goal is. And that's why working with a partner like ERC Guaranteed, which takes the time to overqualify, underestimate, but also keep that information on file so that we know not just that, for instance, this stay-at-home order applied or this increased PPE program applied to the business. We actually give each business owner that specific credit, or excuse me, order itself. So they've got the documentation, they have all those calculations, they can share it with the IRS if those questions come.